We are
so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Here in the heartland, at the heart of everything cool, Greater Des Moines is more than its features. It's a feeling. A feeling of discovery and wonder everywhere you turn. Catch what you've been missing. Des Moines, the S's are silent, our city is booming.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything.
Dental insurance costs a fortune and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
It's Fairway Family Food.
Name one reason more people choose to shop at Fairway.
Lower prices.
Name something that Fairway is famous for.
The best meat in town.
Services!
Don't play games with your food. Shop Fairway for the best meat in town.
With lower prices and higher quality, everyone's a winner at Fairway.
Until next time, this is Fairway Family Food.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
I want a drink.
And I want this free. And I want this awesome ATV. I can't get enough
of winning free stuff.
Casey's just gave me these. Cause we won the Casey's sweepstakes. The Summer of Freedom sweepstakes.
Shop with Casey's Rewards for a chance to win free pizza, gas, and getaways all summer long.
We won the Casey's sweepstakes. The Summer of Freedom sweepstakes.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community, like family,
like home. SWIC is a place for you.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements. I'm just here for the conversation.
Good afternoon to you and welcome in. We are live here from the Harlan Rogers
Sports Complex in Fort Dodge, Iowa. This is Kruger Seed Field, field number 1 as it used to be called. We love Kruger Seeds Field here because that means we get state softball here in Fort Dodge, Iowa, home of the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. My name's Emery Songer, and our game on deck is between the Muscatine Muskies and the Pleasant Valley Spartans, a battle of Eastern Iowa right here on the Girls Union Network powered by the Mid-American Energy Company. My partner today, Molly Geis, is going to be joining me for this ball game here. This is the second Class 5A quarterfinal played on this field, the first of which was final, about 45 minutes ago now. Was not exactly what we were looking for in terms of tightness, but it just showed how good the host team, the Fort Dodge Dodgers, are as they ran away in a 3-inning run rule game, 12-0. You were here for that one, Molly. That team looks awfully difficult to beat, but we're going to have a couple of Eastern Iowa powers that are going to try to match up with them potentially down the line, because the winner of this game would not see them until the state championship game.
Right. And in softball, anyone can win. Everybody's got a loss here. Muscatine only has 4. Fort Dodge, I think, has maybe 6. So you always try to tell your kids anybody can be beat. But, yeah, Fort Dodge looked amazing and just fundamentally sound. And fun game to watch from that aspect, but probably not fun if you were Waukee.
Right, and Waukee, they'll get a chance to win a game here, I say, because they'll drop into the consolation semifinals. They'll get one more game here, a chance to kind of get a good taste in their mouth. But Fort Dodge looked every bit the part of a state championship contender. All season long, this Muscatine team looked like they would be a state championship contender as well. They are the number 2 seed in your Class 5A field here for the 8 teams that made it here. And let's go ahead and take a look at the road to state. First for Muscatine, 35-4, as you mentioned, just 4 losses. They defeated Iowa City Liberty to get into this state tournament here. They only allowed 85 runs all season long in those 39 games played. That's the 3rd fewest in Class 5A. And they also hit 12 triples, tied for 3rd in Class 5A. Very hard on a field 200 feet all the way around, which is pretty general for softball to hit 12 triples in a season. There's not a lot of space out there to use that, so you got the speed, they have the bats, and as you see, Maura Chalupa, 2nd in Class 5A in strikeouts. We're going to see plenty of strikeouts from her throughout this game. Pleasant Valley is going to try just to put the bat on the ball throughout. And Isabel Lerma, who's one of the top hitters in the Muscatine order, over a 400 average, 6 homers, 38 knocked in this season. On the other side for Pleasant Valley, 26-12 is the record for them. They defeated Cedar Rapids Prairie in Region 7 to get here. Casey Kane, not the race car driver, the catcher for Pleasant Valley, 416 the average, 5 homers and 37 knocked in for her. She's just a freshman, by the way. Jessie Clemens, 91 assists defensively. That's the 2nd most in Class 5A. She's going to be playing at the shortstop position. Always good when you have a good defender out in that spot. And then Maya Townsend, who's going to be in the circle, 16-4, a sub-250 ERA, and she struck out 56 batters throughout the season as well. You look at these 2 numbers, it's obvious that Muscatine has, really solid resume here, but Pleasant Valley, they know what it's like to be at the state tournament.
Yeah, they both have played really tough competition this year, and it's going to be a battle. I'm not as familiar with either of these teams. Like we were talking before this, that they're not from Central Iowa. They're a lot further away, but that, they get past this game. Not a lot of people have seen them, so that's kind of an advantage. But
mega advantage, and especially considering Eastern Iowa does have a kind of a bubbling scene over there, and we might not see them, but like you mentioned, really difficult conferences that are over there, a tough schedule. They see a lot of tough teams. The teams that these 2 teams beat just to get here were very good teams as well, and it's something that we're going to keep an eye on as well as we get the 2-7 matchup here. We're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll have the team introductions, the starting lineups. We'll give you your pitching matchup as well. You're watching the Girls State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I want a drink,
and I want this free,
and I want this awesome ATV.
I can't get enough
of winning free stuff.
Casey's just gave me these, 'cause we won the Casey's sweepstakes, the summer of freedom sweepstakes.
Shop with Casey's Rewards for a chance to win free pizza, gas, and getaways all summer long.
We won the Casey's sweepstakes, the summer of freedom sweepstakes.
We'd like to welcome you to the Iowa Girls High School Softball Tournament. I'm Erin Kirtley with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We hope that you've enjoyed all of the action in today's game. At the Girls Athletic Union, we are so thankful for those who support us to help us put on these great events, none of which are more important as the Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Joining me is Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau. Thanks for being here, Brent.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Erin.
So Brent, we want to tell the viewers about the Iowa Farm Bureau and the support that you provide the IGHSAU. Why does Farm Bureau invest and support in the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and our tournaments?
Yeah, the Iowa's youth are absolutely a precious resource for Iowa. They are tomorrow's leaders, and we're very happy to be once again, the title sponsor for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union softball tournament. We've been here 17 years, and this is a fantastic partnership, and couldn't be more proud of that relationship and celebrating these girls and the achievements that they've accomplished over the last year.
Welcome back. You are looking live at what home plate will look like momentarily as the two teams are now going to the foul line so they can get set and ready to go. We're going to go ahead and go to our public address announcer momentarily and hear from him about what the lineups are going to look like. Also introduce both of these teams and our umpiring crew before we have the first pitch here between Muscatine and Pleasant Valley. So without further ado, let's go ahead and fire it on up to the press box here at Kruger Seeds Field and get you the team introductions for this Class 5A quarterfinal.
Softball fans, and welcome to Rogers Sports Complex and this 5A quarterfinal game between the visiting team, the Pleasant Valley Spartans, and the home team, the Muscatine Muskies. Winner of this game will play Wednesday at 1 o'clock right here at Kruger Seed Field between the winner of Waukee Northwest and Linn-Mar. The loser of this game will play Tuesday at 11:30 on Veterans Field. Now let's meet your non-starters. First of all, for the visitors from Pleasant Valley. Number 3, Trace George. Number 4, Avery Menke. Number 13, Bella Chamberlain. Number 14, Jayla Bishop. Number 15, Cassie Kostian. Number 17, Caitlin Keeper. Number 18, Cammie Wood. And number 20, Mackenzie Fa. Your assistant coaches, Alexia Lara, Amanda Ray, Haley Bula, and Alyssa Simon. And now, let's meet your starters for the Spartans of Pleasant Valley. Leading off and playing center field, number 1, Ashley Hansen. Batting second at second base, number 10, Reagan Hassel. Batting third, doing the catching, number 7, Casey Kane. Cleanup hitter for the Spartans, the shortstop, number 2, Jessica Clement. Batting fifth at left field, number 11, Mary Paige Withers. Batting sixth in right field, number 5, Addison Oda. Batting seventh at first base, number 19, Caitlin Merkel. Batting eighth, the designated player, number 12, Mara McClyman. And batting in the ninth position, the third baseman, number 8, Ava Crowley. Your flex player, and doing the pitching, number 6, Maya Townsend. Head coach for the Spartans, Jose Lara. And now let's meet your non-starters for the home team from Muscatine. Number 2, Ashley Ramser. Number 4, Aubrey Bender. Number 7, Harper France. Number 12, Elsie Lewis. Number 24, Jenny Jarrett. Number 47, Skylar Peterson. We also have Lily Gray and Becca Haig. Your assistant coaches, Bob Gaunt, Jennifer Haig, and Carrie Seaman. doing the pitching, number 29, Murat Kalupa. Head coach for the Muskies, Steve Hopkins. Ladies and gentlemen, I've turned your attention to the home plate area. Our umpires for this contest, as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Mr. Mark Amadeo. At third base, Mr. Dwayne Duncan. And calling your balls and strikes this afternoon, Mr. Keith McCrae. All right, who's ready for state tournament softball?
All right, there you go. There's your entire Pleasant Valley does their little chant at the end here. Class 5A. This is your third starting game, I should say. One game already in the books, as mentioned, and that was Fort Dodge, the 12-0 3-inning run will win over 8-seed Waukee. They're into the semis are the Dodgers, and Waukee drops into the fifth place or tied for fifth game or the consolation semifinal or whatever they talk about. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and thank our Iowa Farm Bureau group. Of course, Iowa Farm Bureau, the proud sponsor of the Girls Athletic Union and all the state tournaments. Troy Mitchell in Muscatine County, and you see his phone number and contact information there. As for Scott County, check out Doug Beasley over in the Bettendorf area, and his phone number there as well. So big thanks to them, everyone at Iowa Farm Bureau, for what they do, helping support the Iowa Girls Athletic Union and our broadcasts here. Something that truly many states wish that they had what we are able to bring to you, and it's thanks to the support from folks like those at the Iowa Farm Bureau. Warming up in the circle is the right-hander. That is Mora Kalupa. Kalupa on the season. If you're looking at a pitcher who will strike you out, I don't think you need to look any further than right here. On the season for Kalupa, the junior, 24 games appeared in, 121 innings. She's only allowed 20 earned runs, but in 121 innings, 176 strikeouts. She only walked 34. So 19-2 was her record. That's pretty good.
Yeah, just watching her warm up, she's pretty tough. She's got a lot of different pitches, and I like her intensity. She's staring down the batter, at least from what I could tell in warm-ups here.
Oh, yeah, and that's one of the things, you know, you're going to throw Ashley Hansen at her right here. Hansen, a slap-hitting lefty, as Hansen will be followed by Reagan Hassel, Casey Kane here to start the first inning. Lefty slapper, first pitch on the way, and a little wave and a miss off the outside corner. 1-0, or pardon, 0-1, my mistake. Ashley Hansen is just an 8th grader. Out in the outfield, 361 is the average, but when she gets on dangerous, 26 stolen bases. So when she reaches, she can wreak some havoc. The 0-1 on the way. And she fouls this one straight off of the facade of the bleachers above us. Quickly, it's 0-2.
As a pitcher, you always want to get ahead in the count, especially early on in the game, but you know, sometimes somebody will watch the first strike, but then it gives you a little more freedom as a pitcher to throw something not as meaty.
She got that opportunity here with the 0-2. Swing and a miss on the riser. That goes over the letters. And good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Ashley Hansen down on strikes, swinging, one away. That'll bring up Reagan Hassel, a junior. We're not going to hear about a lot of seniors here. Only one senior on the entire Pleasant Valley roster. Yes, these kids, even though they're not seniors, are very experienced here. But you're not going to be hearing about the seniors because I think there's only 3 of them between the two teams. It's the first pitch, a called strike at the knees to Hassel, 0-1. For Hassel, the junior, on the season batting .317. Has not hit a home run, but a good number 2 hitter. Knows how to get on base via the walk and also 18 steals when she's reached. There's a swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2, and right like you said, Molly, she is pounding the strike zone.
Yeah, she's got a lot of different spins on the ball. You know, you can turn the speed up in a machine, but you can't duplicate those spins.
This one too high. 1-2. She wanted to do the exact same thing, kind of fired up above the letters and have that ball continuing to rise as it got to home plate. That one just a little bit too much. Ended up around the eyeballs as Hassel has the count now at 1-2. 1 out, nobody on here. Just underway, top of the first. Class 5A quarterfinal between the 7-seed Pleasant Valley, the 2-seed Muscatine. Mora Kalupa. This one up and away. 2-2. Defense behind Kalupa. Avery Schroeder in left. Carly Ricketts is in center with Mia Molina out in right. The infield is Isabel Lerma at third with Briley Seaman at short. Caitlin Haag is at second. Lucy Hoeg is at first base. As this 2-2 is popped foul off the screen. will do it again. The backstop is Kylia Salyers. Of course, as you see here, we're in the black uniforms. It's hot out there. I don't know if black would be my preferred color tonight.
I agree, but they're used to playing in the hot. It's been a hot summer.
It has been.
The last several weekends have been hot. Sometimes even playing at 7 p.m. is pretty warm.
Yeah, Reagan Hassel battling, fouls another one off. She'll see the 7th pitch of this at-bat coming up here from Kalupa, and the more pitches you see as a batter, the more you can kind of figure it out, but it'll be interesting to see if she tries to go back upstairs now that Hassel has gotten a piece of the last couple up around the letters.
I'm predicting a change-up, but that's the thing. She's got a lot of pitches. She can keep them guessing. Sometimes you see pitchers who have like 2 different pitches.
Yeah, she kind of came back a little bit with it. It's popped up. It's going to be a long run and ends up going over the screen this time. Hassel continues to stay alive, but mixing the locations in softball is almost as important as changing the speeds, because you are so close to home plate that really just putting the ball 3 inches up or 3 inches out makes it infinitely more difficult to get the head of the bat around if you're a batter just 45 feet away.
Right, and there's so many different philosophies about changing the level, and if they saw it inside, then putting it high outside. Just a variety of different mixtures of pitches.
Another 2-2 on the way from Kalupa. This one outside. Home plate umpire Gene McCraig did not bite there, and all of a sudden Hassel, who is down 0-2, has worked it full. This will be the 9th pitch of the sequence here, with 1 out and nobody on top of the first. Hassel, a junior, the only junior in this lineup, and only one of 3 juniors on the roster. And that's high. What an at-bat there from Hassel. And she's going to advance to first base on a base on balls. And that's not something you see from Kalupa too awful much. 34 walks in 24 games, so just over 1 walk per game. And there it is right there. And if you can work a couple more walks here, that makes a 1-base hit all the more important. And you want that important run support for Maya Townsend, the sophomore, who's going to be going in the circle for Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, and credit to the batter there. She did such a good job of, had a good eye. She swung at the good ones and let the others go. And sometimes during the season, you don't see that. Some people will go after that rise ball.
Well, you saw in the first at-bat, Hansen, the left-handed batter, did swing through the riser on the 0-2 pitch. But there, Kane, a freshman, the catcher, she has been unbelievable offensively this season. She takes the exact same pitch just high for a ball.
Yep.
The 1-0. This one right down the pipe for a called strike, and it's 1-1. Casey Kane, a freshman, has been a catcher, an incredibly important defensive position, but she's hit for average at .431, hit for power, team leading 5 home runs. She's also walked a team high 14 times, has 15 doubles. That's by far and away a team high. Also driven in a team high 36 runs. She has been the #1 offensive threat in this lineup as she swings through that pitch, and it's 1-2. She also shares a name with a very popular race car driver, formerly of NASCAR and now on the World Outlaw Tour, Casey Kane. Spelled a little bit differently, but I don't know if I'd like that or not, having the same name as a famous person. Here's the pitch. This one ripped just underneath it. She looked like she had the timing down on that one, but she lives to see another pitch, and not only it helps you when you're in the box seeing more pitches as you extend at bats, but it's also helping the batter who's in the on-deck circle. It's helping the players in the dugout see maybe a few different looks from the player in the circle, especially one that's been dominant this year like Kalupa has. 1-2. The pitch. Way high. And it's almost like she doesn't really have that release point yet on those high pitches.
Yeah. Sometimes just the energy of the game, you gotta kind of find the release, and it's a tough pitch. The rise ball is. You don't want to leave it hanging in the.
That's how you get some extra base hits and some launch angles there. The 2-2. That ball is high, popped up toward the first base side dugout. Long run. What a catch by the first baseman Hoeg. Hoy. That's about as good as you're going to see by a first baseman up against a dugout. That is chain link fence all the way around. She had to find it, reach over it to make the catch. As you'll see the replay here, just flared to that side. I wasn't sure she was going to have a play, but she did a really good job of knowing where the wall was, putting her free hand on the wall, reaching up, making the catch in foul ground for an important second out.
Yeah, great catch, and you can see the pitcher over there getting more excited than anybody else because you want that out.
Yeah, you appreciate the effort defensively. Lucy Hoeg is the first baseman, and she gets a star defensively. here in the top of the first, and now with 2 outs, it brings up the cleanup batter, Jessica Clemens. Runner goes. This one going to want to hop down there. It's going to be a steal by Hassel. 19th steal on the season, third most on this team. And they are not afraid to run. A lot of these good teams that make it to Fort Dodge are very adept at stealing bases as well.
Yeah, worth the risk with 2 outs. You want to get somebody in scoring position if you get that one hit.
That was a ball, by the way. So the sophomore Jessica Clemens playing shortstop. Very good defensive player. But also batting cleanup here. 347 the average. 1 homer, 18 runs driven in. Swing and a miss on that pitch that had a nice little hook on it on the outside corner. Hasn't gone to that pitch very much here in the first inning. You know, as a pitcher, you want to save maybe a pitch or two that you don't want to use first at bat so you can try to use it later and get them out second, third time through. But Pleasant Valley's been pesky so far, but a base hit very well could score the speedy Reagan Hassel from second. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off the screen, and it's 1-2.
Lots of foul balls.
And that is a sign that they're not that far off of her. Now,
Right.
she's not inducing hard contact, but the fact that they're getting the bat on the ball, that's a confidence builder when you're at the plate.
And at this level, you're going to get batters when they've got 2 strikes. They're able to foul off what they don't love in hopes of getting a pitch that they do.
We'll see if Clemens can do so here. The 1-2. Swing and a miss as that drop ball is able to come in just under the knees, and 2 strikeouts in the inning. The 1-out walk goes for naught. They leave a runner in scoring position, and after a half inning of play, it's Pleasant Valley nothing. Muscatine coming to bat right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy.
Behind your everyday.
and we are
Obsessively.
Relentlessly.
At your service.
Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career building programs, and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today, central.edu. Located in beautiful Pella, Iowa. Forever Dutch, as you see there, out on the placards, 200 feet away all the way around from left to right. Yeah, and that's what the players are going to look at here at Kruger Seeds Field. I'm Emery Songer. I'm joined by Molly Geis. Molly, it wasn't perfect for Maura Kalupa, the right-hander, but got it done. Allowed just the walk, stranded a runner in scoring position. But I think Pleasant Valley liked what they saw offensively from the top part of the order.
Yeah, I think in this game we're going to see more plays. We're going to see, you've got great pitching, but both, teams are, score a lot of runs, and to get out of an inning without giving up a run is great, especially when there's a runner left on. And
you want to get that offense up there. I mean, and when you get to this level and you know the offense that you have, like Muscatine has, you want to get out of there with a 0, let the offense go to work, let them try to do something for you, maybe get a 1 or 2 on the scoreboard, and that changes the complexion of how you feel out there in the circle. And a huge pick-me-up. We're going to have to remember this because even early, settle some of the nerves, even though these two teams are both veteran teams of not necessarily age, but of experience at the state softball tournament. These two schools are regularly here at the 5A tournament. To see a defensive play, like making a catch, stealing it out over there against the wall in the front of the first base side dugout, which was a great play by Lucy Hoeg. I think that right there can kind of calm some of the other players' nerves as well, like, hey, we're just playing softball.
Right. Good plays like that are contagious, and you always want your players to make those good hustle plays, and it settles the nerves a little bit.
Mia Molina, as you saw the lineup there for Muscatine, she's an 8th grader, another lefty slap hitter, and she is going to dig in to face Maya Townsend, the lefty being tossed out there by Pleasant Valley here in the bottom of the first. Townsend's first pitch is a little liner, looper. It's fielded it cleanly. A nice play by Reagan Hassel. We saw Hassel walk in the first inning. She's able to make the defensive play here. 1 pitch, 1 out. Real quick, some numbers here on Townsend. on the season. Just a sophomore. She was the ace pitcher, pitching 111 and a third innings of over 21 total appearances, a 245 earned run average. Only struck out 53, which is a much smaller number than we see for Kalupa on the other side, but certainly knows how to pitch to soft contact and get the job done and get out of there. 15-4 the record, and she only walked 35 batters in 21 total appearances. First pitch to the number 2 hitter, Carly Ricketts, taken for a strike. Ricketts, one of 2 seniors in the lineup for Muscatine. There's only 1 senior on the entire roster on the other side as well, so 3 seniors total between these 2 teams. We talk about the experience they have of coming here, but these are still 2 very young teams, at least in terms of the age of the players.
You grow up a lot when you're on this field.
And it helps when you're an 8th grader. You talk about Mia Molina, who just was leading off here for Muscatine. She's an 8th grader. Multiple 8th graders on both teams. The leadoff batter on the other side for Pleasant Valley, Ashley Hansen, she's also an 8th grader.
Yeah, a lot of these girls play so much travel ball and play on a high stage, but there's nothing like playing for your high school. And there is pressure to do well, even if you've played on a high stage. When you're playing at the state tournament, it is a whole nother level of excitement and fun.
Yeah, pride, and then, of course, you have the fans that make their way here. A couple of teams that had to drive quite a ways to get here. As that's up high. It's 3-1 here to Carly Ricketts. For Ricketts on the season, the senior batting .367, no homers. She did drive in 21 runs, which is 4th, make that 5th on the team by just 1. And a lot of run producers in the middle of this order. So many players that can hurt you. You'd like to have the bases empty as much as possible if you're Maya Townsend. She delivers a strike right down the pipe there, taken all the way by Ricketts, and it's now full 3-2. Head coach Steve Hopkins knows he's got options. I mean, that's the thing. They have protection. You can't really pitch around anybody in this order because the next person's just going to be as capable of hurting you as, the player that's in the batter's box right now.
Yeah, I was looking up and down the...
That ball's tattooed out in the left center field, and that'll be the first hit of the ball game either way. Sorry to interrupt you there, Molly.
No, you're good.
1-out single for Carly Ricketts, and she's aboard.
Yeah, up and down the order in Muscatine, no one is over 400. Everyone kind of is very close to a 400 batting average.
Very consistent as a team.
Yes. No breathing room for a pitcher.
Isabel Lerma, the sophomore third baseman, is going to come up on the season. She has been as impressive as anybody in the order. .395 average, team high 6 homers. She's driven in a team high 36 out of the 3 slot. Corners of the infield do come in, though, with the runner at first base, expecting potentially that she might lay something down. She swings at the first pitch, pops it up on the infield. The shortstop, Jessica Clemens, battling the sun, able to make the catch. And another aggressive at-bat, 1 pitch, 1 out for that. So the 2 outs have been on the first pitch swings. Muscatine not going to be wasting any time up there. They're going to see something they like. They're going to swing away at it.
Yeah, you mentioned maybe bunting with 1 out. It's kind of... It depends on what the coach's philosophy is. You kind of want to be the first one to score, so... But
with one of your best hitters, definitely your best power hitter, it's tough to do. But you see it in softball all the time. Like, the big power hitters are asked at times to lay a bunt down if the situation demands it.
Yeah, and Pleasant Valley is super appreciative for that pop-up.
You know what? They would have been appreciative of a bunt, I think, too. Go ahead and give me an out, especially with your 3 spot. But that wasn't the strategy there. It ended up working out for Pleasant Valley either way with the pop-up that didn't leave the infield. Carlia Salyers is now at the plate out of the cleanup spot. It is 1-0. She swings and fouls this off. It's 1-1. She's a junior, is Kylia Salyers. Salyers on the season comes in batting .364. Did not hit a home run this season. For the most part, this team didn't hit a lot of home runs, did Muscatine, for a team that was ranked in the top 5 most of the year and is the second seed here at the state tournament. But Salyers still a great run producer. 8 doubles, 3 triples, and 29 runs driven in.
Yeah, sometimes some teams will have, lots of home run hitters, and then some people just have people that are good under pressure and love to have runners on base, and they will hit them in, and that's equally as powerful as well.
Yeah, it's situational hitting, and we talked about the triple number. They don't hit a ton of home runs for as highly ranked a team as they are, but they hit a lot of triples, and having good speed on the base paths, wreaking havoc on the base paths. Even when you don't hit triples, you hit doubles, try to stretch it out into an extra base. Puts a lot of pressure on the fielders as well, as it's 2-1 here. Salyers will look at 1 at the knees for a strike, 2-2. 2 outs, a runner at first base is Carly Ricketts. She does have good speed. They haven't sent her yet, though. It'll be interesting to see. She does have 11 stolen bases on the season. They don't run nearly as much, though, as Pleasant Valley does across their order in terms of stolen bases. It's the 2-2 on the way here from Maya Townsend. That's just a little up, maybe a hair outside, and the count goes full again, 3-2. Your home plate umpire, Gene McCraig. First base umpire, Mark Amadeo. At third base is Dwayne Duncan. Dwayne's actually manning second base while the runner's at first base. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work with a three-man crew. 3-2. Ground ball over to short. It's going to be fielded cleanly by Clemens. Her throw to first in plenty of time. And a one-out single by Carly Ricketts goes for naught on the other side for Muscatine. Both pitchers throw up a 0, and we'll head to the second. 0-0 our score between Pleasant Valley and Muscatine right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in the heartland, at the heart of everything cool, Greater Des Moines is more than its features. It's a feeling. A feeling of discovery and wonder everywhere you turn. Catch what you've been missing. Des Moines, the S's are silent, our city is booming.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything.
Dental insurance costs a fortune, and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Muscatine able to get a hit, but didn't get the runner over to second base. Both teams were able to battle a little bit, but nothing across as we head to the top of the second inning. Pleasant Valley going to come up here with number 5 hitter Mary Paige Withers, then Addison Oda and Caitlin Merkel, a sophomore, then a freshman, and then another freshman in the middle of this order. And it just goes to illustrate the youth of these two teams. We're going to talk about it ad nauseum as Molly Geist joins me. My name is Emery Songer. We thank you for joining us here on the Iowa Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. The youth is a factor, but the fact that both of these teams know what it's like to play on these fields before they even come here, because it's just an institution at both of these schools, it's a weird dichotomy, because you want to talk about how young they are, but they're experienced. They're a lot more experienced than some of the seniors on some teams that really struggle to get here year to year.
Yeah, there's something to say about teams that consistently come back to the state tournament, whatever sport it is. It's just an expectation. They know how to play throughout the season and not give up, not lose a game that they should win, that kind of competitiveness.
There's a strike. It's 2-1 here to Mary Paige Withers. Withers, by the way, a sophomore, coming in batting a really respectable 372 on the season. 23 runs driven in along with a couple of homers. Batting in the 5 spot, one of 3 sophomores in the order of a predominantly underclassmen unit that both of these teams are throwing out here. 3-1 is the count, nobody on, nobody out here starting the top of the second. By the way, 7th trip in 10 seasons for Pleasant Valley. Jose Lara's been here for 7 years. Gotten used to seeing him as this ball is going to find a home on top of the first base side dugout, makes it a full count, 3-2. On the other side, Muscatine, this is the 16th time they have made it to state. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Makes working in the off season, you can see their future, and okay, I'm going to go, 2-3 nights a week in January and work hard and know that you've got this potential down the road.
There's a swing and a miss by Withers. Good job coming back by Kalupa. Maura Kalupa, her 3rd strikeout. 1 out, nobody on, and that'll bring up the freshman right fielder Addison Oda. Oda on the season, batting .345. Does have 16 runs driven in, no homers.
Kalupa is very confident in what she's going to throw. Gets it to 3-2, but comes back with a strike, and you've got that kind of pitching here at the state tournament where when they need a strike, they can get it. Absolutely, and you want to talk about a contact hitter. She is at the plate, the freshman Oda, as she pops this one out into left field. Under it is Schroeder. Avery Schroeder squeezes it for the out. I was going to say before that, that's the 85th at-bat on the season for the freshman Addison Oda. She struck out once. Wow.
That's some plate discipline right there.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's grounding out or flying out or anything. She's got a .345 average. She had a .345 average coming into today. So I know that she flew out, but when you're making contact at that kind of clip regularly, you are going to find a way to get on base.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And especially you're putting pressure on the defense. And we know the defenses here at Fort Dodge are very, very strong usually, but that's not the case across the state of Iowa. So, that is a huge tool to have on the back end of the meat of your orders. The first pitch is strike here to another freshman, Caitlin Merkel. She playing first base here is Merkel. On the season, 320 is her average. She has hit 4 homers with 28 runs driven in, so kind of a second cleanup hitter, if you will, in the 7-hole of your lineup. And she takes a ball there 1-1. Yeah, your 7-hitter hitting 4 homers and has 28 runs driven in. That'll do. It's almost like they have two kind of wiffle ball type lineups, with leadoff batter, contact hitter, power bat, kind of pattern going throughout the roster, so they have multiple spots where they can kind of start a rally. As that's off the end of the bat, that's going to be a tough play. Second baseman Hag goes over to first, not going to be in time. That's going to be an infield hit for Caitlin Merkel. We talked about the power numbers. How about an infield hit for her?
Those are frustrating as a pitcher. You're like, it's just in the infield.
And it's just so soft. It's just a soft contact, but it was in the perfect spot.
Yeah, there was really nothing that they could do. And you've got fast runners, you've got short bases. That's what I think is so exciting about the game of softball is, the reaction time from the pitching mound, 43 feet, and the bases, 60 feet. Like, it's just a fast game.
Mara McClyman, the only senior in the batting order here for Pleasant Valley, and the only senior on the roster, takes a ball 1-0. McClyman been in limited action here, getting the start, only 14 at-bats on the season. She does have 1 double and 3 runs driven in. And has also walked a couple of times. But even though she is a senior on this team, she's been kind of a part of this rotating bottom part of the order. But she does draw the start here against Maura Kalupa and does have a 2-0 count here. With 2 outs, obviously the bunt's not on. You're just looking for a good piece of contact here, maybe keep the inning alive. As there's a check swing, and there's a ball just missed, I think maybe inside, and it's 3-0 with the 9-hitter Ava Crowley on deck. Muscatine defense is pretty much straight up all the way around. Second baseman Caitlin Haig is a little bit more in the hole on the right side as there's a strike on the inside half, 3-1. The runner at first is Caitlin Merkel, who reached on an infield single on a ball that just cued right off the end of the bat. McClyman, the senior, trying to keep the inning alive. Kalupa fires, popped up. This one looks like it's going to be headed out of play, and it is. Not by much, but that'll bring it a full count. And Kalupa going to look for another wipeout pitch here. Already 3 strikeouts the first inning and 2/3.
Yeah, she set her up well. I mean, as a pitcher, you kind of learn that every pitch matters. And sometimes you're going for just getting a ground out or a pop out, but I feel like she's kind of a setup pitcher where she's going, obviously, for the strikeout. So we'll see what happens here.
3-2. Yep. Swing and a miss up high. That's how she got the leadoff batter, Ashley Hansen, at the start of the game. Comes back with that rising fastball over the letters and gets strikeout number 4 through 2 innings. Another base runner left stranded. Pleasant Valley and Muscatine tied at 0, heading to the bottom of the second inning when we return on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
It's Fairway Family Food.
Name one reason more people choose to shop at Fairway.
Lower prices.
Name something that Fairway is famous for.
The best meat in town.
Survey says!
Don't play games with your food. Shop Fairway for the best meat in town.
With lower prices and higher quality, everyone's a winner at Fairway.
Until next time, this is Fairway Family Food.
Wasp.
Another inning and a half is done. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Muscatine will come to the plate. Both teams have 1 hit. Both teams, through the first 3 half innings, have left 1 runner stranded on the base pass. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 lined up here for Muscatine to face Maya Townsend, Briley Seaman, Caitlin Haig, and Lucy Hoeg. A sophomore, a freshman, and a sophomore. And then after that's another sophomore.
And Emery, I was looking, these two teams have played each other, but that was in May.
Yeah.
So a lot has changed. I'm sure they played a doubleheader, probably faced a couple pitchers apiece, but everyone has changed. Pitchers have gotten better, batters have gotten better.
Right.
Defense, yeah, it's not the same team really.
First ball is hit high in the air to center field, back at the wall, and that one's gone! That ball just kept leaking and leaking and leaking, and Briley Seaman gets a leadoff home run here to start the second to straightaway center field on a fly ball that just would not come down. Briley Seaman, her 5th homer of the year, RBI number 29, batting just over 300 on the season, but that looked like a routine fly ball that just kept carrying and carrying. The wind is blowing ever so slightly, maybe 5 to 7 miles an hour in that direction, and that might have been the difference.
Yeah, and Ashley Hansen did a great job out in center field. She made it look like it was a routine ball because she got to the fence and tried to reach for it, but just couldn't. It just went right past her.
Yeah, it probably cleared the fence by a couple of feet. It's 200 literally from foul line to foul line. Very symmetrical. There are no deep spots in the field. As there's a strike at the knees to Caitlin Haig. But off the bat, it seemed like a pretty benign piece of hitting, and it just went straight up into the air. And the wind isn't really blowing out that hard. No. It just had enough height that it was able to carry over the fence.
We'll see if that gets contagious.
Well, sometimes all you need is one. That's a rope. Oh, what
nice.
A snow cone catch by Ava Crowley over at third base.
Great snag.
So Crowley, that is a huge out too, because that ball was tattooed. Now that was hit much harder, as you see on the screen here. No reaction time. That's why these infielders who were standing, she was standing probably 45 feet away there at the hot corner, and they call it that for a reason. That ball pulled right at her and was able to hold on to it as it kind of snow coned out the edge of her glove. But man, I would not be playing there without a mask on.
Yeah, agreed. About pulled her arm off, so like you said, almost snuck out of her glove. She did a great job squeezing it.
First pitch, and that ball, well, it's a pretty good job just keeping the weight back by Lucy Hoeg, the sophomore first baseman, 0-1. That's what I was talking about, though. If that ball finds the gap or if it goes down the line and it's a 2-base hit, you have a home run and then a really hard-hit extra base hit, and all of a sudden it's starting to pile up and the pitcher can start feeling a little bit down. And now you look up on the scoreboard, 1 out, bases are empty, have a chance to kind of regather yourself here, and it's still just 1-0.
Right, big difference for sure.
The lefty fires. This one was outside the whole way, and it's 1-1 here to Lucy Hoeg. She made that very, very nice catch up against the fence on the first base side defensively at her first base position. On the season, she came in batting .261, does have a couple of homers and 15 runs driven in. The 1-1. That ball hit high, maybe playable. Toward the dugout, not quite able to pull that in as Crowley made a nice effort, but it was about maybe a foot too far over the wall for her to be able to snag it and reel it back in. But it is strike 2, 1-2 the count.
A lot of great effort on some of these foul line at the fence.
Yeah, Hoeg almost had what she did in the first inning done to her by the third baseman Crowley. She'll dig back in, behind in the count, 1-2. Maya Townsend trying to shake off the leadoff home run this inning by Briley Seaman. The 1-2 on the way. That's popped up and very playable. Who's it going to be? It will be Crowley at third, and she will make the catch in foul ground for the second out.
Townsend isn't necessarily overpowering speed-wise, but she just does a great job of mixing her speeds, hitting location, and that's all you can ask from a pitcher. Like, she's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, she's not a strikeout pitcher like we talked about. Came in with only 53 strikeouts and 111 in a third innings pitched, which isn't usual for a lot of the dominant pitchers here, but her ERA tells you that she knows what she's doing as the lefty slapper Avery Schroeder bunts through that first pitch 0-1 as you see the infield. This is the biggest difference in terms of strategy between baseball and softball, is that lefty slapper offensively and how you defend it defensively with your infield all sorts of jumbled up.
Yeah, when you get the speed of some of these players and they're already running, towards first base, you have to field it perfectly cleanly, and as a player that you can't even take a little bit of hesitation or they're on. So sometimes it causes an error in addition to them getting on safely.
Now there's a beautiful change up there. Had Schroeder guessing wrong, got her timing mixed up, but I'm surprised we don't see a little bit more of that. Just trying to mess with the timing of a batter who's running through the box, and the rhythm of her swing and her running is so important. But now she's in the hole 1-2. We'll see if Townsend can find a strikeout pitch here. She looks in.
I like a changeup on a slapper.
Now she comes with a high fastball popped up on the infield. First baseman Merkel's going to come in, make the play. Good recovery by Townsend and the rest of the defense for Pleasant Valley, but a leadoff home run by Briley Seaman has given Muscatine a 1-0 lead. We'll head to the third when we return here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
I want a drink.
And I want this free.
And I won this awesome ATV.
I can't get enough
of winning free stuff. Casey's just gave me these. Cause we won the Casey's sweepstakes. The summer of freedom sweepstakes.
Shop with Casey's Rewards for a chance to win free pizza, gas, and getaways all summer long.
We won the Casey's sweepstakes. The summer of freedom sweepstakes.
For Pleasant Valley.
It is the top of the third inning as Pleasant Valley will send Ava Crowley, Ashley Hansen, Reagan Hassel, the three batters up here to face Maura Kalupa. The right-hander for the Muskies fires the first pitch. That's up high, check swing. She did not go. 1-0. Ava Crowley is the sophomore third baseman. Made a very nice catch on a hard line drive last half inning. Gets to start the inning off. On the season for Crowley, batting .329 out of the 9 slot. 13 runs driven in as this is fouled out of play.
If you look across, the first 2 innings, both teams, 4 people come up each inning. And so they've been through their top 8, and the only difference is that 1 home run. So,
and it was not. The line drive that was caught by Crowley was the hardest hit ball for sure, but the home run had what the kids call a launch angle.
Yeah.
And it was able to just get over, as this one is high, 2-1. Crowley, by the way, batting in the 9 slot, does have 2 homers on the season, so definitely a player that has some pop in the bottom of the order as well. And then that slap-hitting lefty, Ashley Hansen, which becomes even dangerous if somebody's on in front of her. She'll have an opportunity potentially with the runner on if Crowley can do so. This one bounces in there, and it's now 3-1. By the way, if you missed the first couple of quarterfinals in Class 5A that started in the 11 o'clock hour, the first one on this field, Kruger Seeds Field, was a tour de force by the top seed Fort Dodge Dodgers. 12-0 in 3 innings. They were able to knock out the 8 seed Waukee. Waukee will play in the consolation semifinals tomorrow. Fort Dodge, however, moves into the actual winners bracket semifinals, the final 4, as this one is up high. That is ball 4. Second walk issued by Kalupa. Not something you see too often. 2 walks for her in a single outing. But a runner is on here in the top of the third to get things going, and now you have that slap hitter Ashley Hansen, which very well, Molly, could find herself in a bunting situation. And when you have the speed that she has and the bat control that these slappers typically do have, that makes it very difficult to figure out where you want to try to get an out at.
Yeah, they're probably going to go for that out at first, but I do see, she's going to be bunting. I don't know. I think I would bunt, not slap, but.
Well, we'll see what she does. She hasn't shown it yet. First pitch, and it looks like she was about to choke up, and she takes a strike there, 0-1. That's a big first pitch. You don't want to fall behind 1-0 here.
Right.
Sometimes you can force the other team's hand, and she'll have to swing if you can get her behind in the count.
That was a great pitch to throw to her.
She did try to bunt. Tough diving effort there by Isabel Lerma. She kind of lost her footing because, you think she's bunting. You're taking those first 2 or 3 steps forward. If she would have stayed put there, and I know it's hindsight 2020, but she'll be able to catch that without having to dive based on where she was previously located. But now with 2 strikes, more than likely you're not going to see the bunt anymore, and I think they've already taken a step back at all positions. Hansen was a strikeout victim on a rise ball first time up, so remember that.
Probably gonna get it.
Yeah, a good chance for another one here. Kalupa looks in, likes what she sees. Here's the 0-2. And this one's going to be a little hook that curves down low, so I'm guessing.
Bunt. She
Right.
showed it like she was. I don't know.
Maybe she's just going to kind of hold it there, and maybe you trust her to get it down
that's
still.
what I think. Coach has confidence that she can get it down.
Jose Laura knows a lot more about softball than I'm ever going to know, so we'll see. Here's the 1-2. She shows it, pulls it back, and takes another one low. So they were trying to get her low because they got her high in the first inning. Maybe they think she's looking high and maybe a ball, but those last two were not close enough to warrant a swing.
Right.
It's that game of chess that the battery and the batter are constantly working on. And now a 2-2 to the lefty slapper, Ashley Hansen. Runner at first, nobody out. Kalupa fires again low. 3 straight pitches low, and it's almost like now you want to locate one because you don't want to put 2 runners on for the power bats that are coming up behind, because Pleasant Valley does hit a lot of home runs.
Yeah, she's definitely painting corners, but at this time, yeah, you kind of got to take your chances and throw that strike.
Here we go, the 3-2.
And she did.
And she did, and a good piece of bat work again by Hansen, who fouls it off to see another pitch. And you know that's what she's trying to do, is in some way get it over to the left side of the infield, because then that has an opportunity with as long of a throw as that likely is going to be. She might be able to beat it out. At the same time, the most important thing is getting that runner from first to second.
Right. Yeah, you're kind of going for one and obviously hoping you get more, but a lot of times in girls softball, that's going to happen. You create situations to either make errors or
just make them think. As she swings through that one, the runner goes. Throw down to second is there in time, and she is out. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Kylia Salyers gets the job done with the cannon behind home plate, and just like that, 2 outs and nobody on. So it goes 2-4, as it was the second baseman, Caitlin Haig, who was covering. Hansen strikes out swinging for the second time. 5th K in the game for Kalupa. And again, you want to talk about clutch defensive plays. The catch up against the fence, and here in a situation that it could have been 2 runners on and nobody out, all of a sudden the bases are empty and 2 outs, and immediately a pop fly on the infield. Seaman is there, and just like that, the inning is over. How about the defense for Muscatine, getting him out of what could have been a jam? Instead, we'll head to the bottom of the third. It's still Muskies 1, Pleasant Valley nothing, here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face. SWIC feels like a community. Like family,
like home. SWIC is a place for you.
Yeah, fans, official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Just visit IGHSAU.org. That's IGHSAU.org. You can browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Of course, merch very available here at the Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex.
I was always guaranteed a free t-shirt, maybe a few other things when I came here when I was a kid. Pretty awesome.
Get to rock that when you're going to college and beyond. Always cool for the parents, too, to load up on gear. So plenty of people will be doing that, but you can do it even if you're not here by going to IGHSAU.org and finding the merchandise there. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, Muscatine a 1-0 lead over Pleasant Valley. Both teams displaying solid defense, good pitching. The difference so far, a solo home run by Briley Seaman that leaked over the center field wall, and not by much. And that is the only run of the game so far, as the first pitch, a strike on the outside corner to the 9-hitter, Bree Seaman, the other of the 2 Seamans. She is the designated hitter, batting for the pitcher, Maura Kalupa. Seaman, a senior.
Are you aware if they're siblings?
You know, I would guess that they are, even though I can't say for sure. 360, though, the average out of this 9 slot for the seniors. This one's in the dirt, and it's 1-1. No homers, 5 doubles, 4 knocked in for Seaman. She does have a solid walk to strikeout ratio. 7 walks, just 8 strikeouts this season. It's 1-1 to her here with the top of the order and Mia Molina on deck. Long set here by Maya Townsend after that previous pitch, and this one high. It's 2-1. So we had 2 games already played. As we mentioned, Fort Dodge dominant in a 12-0 3-inning win over Waukee to get into the semifinals. They'll actually play West Des Moines Valley, so another Central Iowa matchup there as Valley able to hold off Southeast Polk as there's another ball, 3-1 here to the 9-hitter Seaman. Final score 7-5. Really strange how that game ended. Valley scored 4 runs in the 6th. Turns out they would need them because Southeast Polk came back with 4 runs in the top of the 7th, but Valley was able to get out of that jam and hold them off for a 7-5 victory. As that one just misses high, about letter high, and Bree Seaman draws the walk. First walk issued by Townsend. She does not walk many people. And we talked about she's not a strikeout pitcher, but she really peppers the zone and forces soft contact, and the Pleasant Valley defense has been good behind her all season long. And now back to Molina at the top, a slap-hitting extraordinaire. Where have we seen this before? Oh, yeah, the last half inning.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like I can't tell, my scorebook looks exactly the same. And a walk to lead off the inning. Yeah.
And then now a slap hitter at the plate with a chance to potentially move a runner along. The infield does come in a couple of steps at all 4 positions, preparing for what should be a bunt, you would think. Molina lays it down. This one is just foul. And it looked like the catcher, Casey Kane, wanted to field it and get the out while she had the opportunity.
Yeah, you just never know. It was right on the line, so it could have stayed fair, so she was smart to probably pick it up and
just
go
in case.
For it.
Yep. And home plate umpire Gene McCraig was right there. It only went about 10 feet down the first base line, so a pretty easy spot for him, even though it was tough for us on this angle. It was probably foul by a centimeter. Here's the 0-1. And she swings away, hits this ball, belts it to right field, backing up and making a nice catch is Addison Oda, and she gets it back in quickly. That's a nice play by Oda. Sometimes when you have a freshman out there, first game at the state tournament, that first ball hit at you in the air can be a little bit wonky, but she was able to make a confident route and make a nice snag and hold the runner at first base. A nice pop by Molina. I know it was an out, but it's always nice when your slap hitters can actually drive it to the outfield too.
Yeah, the right fielder had great footwork. It was she covered a lot of ground, made it look easy, but not an easy ball. Could have been an easy hit.
And that one could have gone to the wall, and that could have ended up being a run. Showing bunt and trying to bunt. This one popped up and catch made by Kane. We talked about her almost trying to make the throw on the bunt attempt on the previous batter, but Carly Ricketts comes up. The corners were in again. They thought a bunt was coming. I was surprised to see a bunt because she hit a solid single first time up out into left center field, but there just fouled that one off. A good read from behind the plate with the mask on by Casey Kane. She dives and makes a great catch for the second out.
Both teams have played this scenario with great confidence and gotten out of having a runner get on with no outs. And
now that modern line Moneyball style thinking of bunting isn't really as efficient as you think it is sort of thing comes into play, as this one's low 1-0. As both teams failing to get the bunt down properly has taken the bats out of one of their top hitters' hands by trying to get a bunt down. And, I mean, obviously these coaches know more than me and what works for their team, but a lot of proponents say, hey, if they got a 300 batting average, why don't you just let them swing usually, and you might actually end up getting a hit out of it instead of giving the other team an out of some sort.
Yeah, I'll be anxious to see. The game could potentially be won by a bunt, too, down the road. So.
Sure. That's a rope down the left field line. That's a base hit. This one could be trouble. Sliding attempt by Withers out in left field. She did a good job of just knocking it down. If that gets by her, a run will score. Instead, it'll be a 2-out double for Isabel Lerma. Lerma is at second, sliding in there, but Bree Seaman was forced to hold up at third base, thanks in large part to Mary Paige Withers doing that sliding stop and knocking it down. Even though she didn't field it cleanly, the fact that she was able to knock it down kept it in front of her, and there was no chance for head coach Steve Hopkins to even think about sending the runner, Bree Seaman, around third. So there's another little defensive play. If they can get out of this with no run scoring here, that's a huge defensive play out there in left field, just stopping that ball.
For sure, and getting that right in.
1-0 is the score with the runner at second and third. First pitch. Oh, that's a beautiful changeup, but just off the outside corner according to home plate umpire Gene McCraig, and a good take there by Kylia Salyers. Salyers defensively had that great throw to cut down a runner trying to steal last half inning. Now she comes up in an RBI spot with 2 runners on and 2 outs here in the third inning. She grounded out to short last time up. Here's the 1-0. And that ball roped into left field. That's a base hit. 1 run is in. Another run coming around third. Here's the throw on the way. It is not going to be in time. A 2-run single by Kylia Salyers. And just like that, Muscatine has tripled their lead, 3-0. It's all about the clutch hits. You talked about situational hitting, timely hitting. We talked about the bunt not getting down twice. Did that ruin, an opportunity here, as we're going to have a meeting of the minds out in the circle here now that Muscatine has increased their lead? But it didn't matter because 2 very strong at-bats by Lerma and Salyers with 2 outs, and it results in 2-run scoring and a 2-out rally.
Yeah, and being in the meat of their order, you kind of knew something was either going to happen or it was going to be a big stop. And
a momentum shift one way or the other for sure.
Yeah. And sometimes coaches are like, well, let's see how we can get, maybe get 1 run or get, and then things start happening like this. And I'm guessing they score a lot of runs off of their hitting, so they probably don't bunt a lot. They don't have a lot of tight games during the season. So you always practice it.
And comparatively, they don't hit a ton of home runs. I mean, they really are doubles, singles, situational. They're not reliant on the long ball at all, even though they have hit a home run in this game already. And I think that does help psychologically, knowing that you don't need to see the ball go over the fence to get the offense going. And that's where you see 2 absolute ropes in the left field, 1 down the line and 1, right in front of the left fielder, able to be enough to manufacture a couple of runs. And there's another one hit toward the gap into left center field. It'll be fielded cleanly by Hansen in center. Her throw's going to third, not quite in time. That throw going to third allows the runner to take second. Briley Seaman, who hit the homer, a solo shot in the second, now will get credited with, I believe, a single. She advances to second on the throw. Going first to third on the hit is Salyers. And now we have.
I think we were talking and didn't see, but there is a runner in.
Okay, a courtesy runner in for the catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be Ashley Ramser, a sophomore. So good eye there, Molly.
Well, sometimes you get talking and you miss stuff.
Yeah, talking.
No,
Something about talking.
I miss stuff.
First pitch miss, actually is in there for a strike to Haig. Caitlin Haig lined out, and that might have been the hardest hit ball we've seen, is the line out that Haig hit last inning, which was snagged by Crowley over there at third base. Almost popped out of her mitt, but she was able to hold on to it for what was an important out in the second inning. But a base hit here could really open the game up here for Muscatine. And that ball hit high in the air, playable for Withers in left. She's under it, squeezes it, and that's an important out. Limiting the damage by Townsend and the Pleasant Valley defense, but not before a couple of runs score. A 2-run single by Kylia Salyers gives Muscatine a 3-0 lead. We'll head to the fourth after this. Pleasant Valley will try to knock down some of this deficit when we return on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
We get set to start the top of the fourth inning. Muscatine a 3-0 lead in this Class 5A quarterfinal. Our courtesy runner that came in, that was Ashley Ramser, brought to you by our friends at IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. As the first pitch, a swing and a miss to Casey Kane, the freshman catcher, 0-1. Kane made an outstanding diving catch on a bunt attempt last half inning, which was an important out because it put 2 outs and kept the runner at first base, but the Muscatine bats would not go quietly in the inning and eventually would plate a couple of runs. In support here of Amora Kalupa, who's had a good start so far and now is ahead 0-2. Also, had a double in that last inning, which, of course, our extra base hits. Brought to you by Kruger Seeds, your local seed dealer. You can visit KrugerSeed.com today. Here at Kruger Seeds Field, no less, as this is foul tipped. Good job by Kane just to get a piece of it. Still 0-2. Kane 0 for 1. Popped out in foul ground. What was an excellent play by Lucy Hoeg over against the fence on the first base side back in the first inning.
Kalupa's out there pitching well the whole time, but you can just see her confidence just build.
And when you see that scoreboard,
yeah,
crooked numbers start going up on that scoreboard in your favor, I think that kind of gets you even more into a zone.
Exactly. And her defense is playing behind her. They look relaxed. They're, producing runs. Not as much pressure.
And that just misses outside. It was a good try by Kalupa and a good frame attempt by Salyers behind the plate. Yeah, they look like a team that's collectively as a school been to the state tournament 16 times.
Yeah.
Now they haven't won a state title since 2000, so they're definitely looking for that. As this ball is, I think, fair. It is fair. And another robbery by Hoeg on Casey Kane. I didn't know if that one was going to stay fair because it's such a late swing by Kane. I think she was just trying to fight it off, but it ended up staying fair barely. Home plate umpire G. McCraig said yes, indeed. So it goes 3 unassisted in the book for the first down. That'll bring up Jessica Clemens with nobody on and 1 out.
I love to see the great defense, and these teams have played great defense all year long, and you want to show off who you are and how you play. So fun to see those great defensive plays, and sometimes they're making things look really easy. There's been some hard hit balls and tough pop flies, and they're making great plays.
Yeah, the sophomore Hoeg's definitely flashed leather twice on Kane. Kane, just a freshman, is like, man, come on. The 1-0 to Clemens. So wing and a miss, and that is 1-1. Yeah, defense is really, like, a lot of teams can hit, and a lot of teams have a really good pitcher, but the defense can really be a separating factor. The teams that get here and perform well here, and the teams that just cannot find a way to get to Fort Dodge. The untimely errors, that is something that these two teams seem to, at least to this point, showing off that that's not a concern of theirs. As it's now 1-2 as Clemens fouls that out of play. Gonna get a new ball here for Kalupa. Didn't like the one that she was given after the foul ball.
Yeah, sometimes pitchers can have that.
Yeah, I don't like that. You see it in Major League Baseball all the time. Those guys.
I did it all the time.
Almost every pitch.
Give
they're
me
like,
back the one that I was throwing.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? That's not the same ball. 1-2 the count here to Clemens.
It can be a mental thing. Seams feel different. It feels heavier, which
Pop up long run for a couple of players, and that was just, I think, it's hard to tell what Haig was thinking there. It looked like she had a beat on it, and then last minute stopped and then reached for it. I wonder if she heard the footsteps of Molina coming behind her and ended up kind of short-arming it. And we talked about how good the defense is. Sometimes that communication play, you're waiting for that outfielder to call you off, and when the outfielder doesn't call you off, but you still hear them running at you, it kind of can spook you a little bit.
Right.
But we'll see if Clemens can do something with the extra pitch she's going to be allowed to see here. She was a strikeout victim first time up in the first. Here's the pitch, and that one's inside. 2-2. You never want to give a good hitter like a Jessica Clemens an opportunity to, get a second opportunity. You want to try to squeeze it if you have the opportunity. That's not an easy play by any means for Haig over there down the line, but I know that she's going to be the first one to say, man, I'd really like Clemens to be back in the dugout right now.
Right. Because more times than not, they end up getting a hit after that.
And line drive off a bounce. Lerma solid at first, solid at third with the throw to first. 5-3. How about your third baseman in this game? How about it? Crowley on one side, and then you have Lerma there flashing the leather on a ground ball that was absolutely tattooed.
Yeah, they're making it look easy, but those are really tough, hard-hit balls.
And a lot of that is reps, especially, softball. you see the coaches just yakking ground balls at his infielders all the time, even before games, just hitting really difficult ground balls as a strike here to Mary Paige Withers.
There's something about, when you're taking infield and stuff like that, it's coming. Just like that play that was behind first base.
This ball looped out into left. Right at, though, Avery Schroeder. Hold that thought because we're now halfway home. 3 1/2 innings in. And it is Muscatine, a 3-0 lead over Pleasant Valley. And we'll be back with more after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Here in the heartland, at the heart of everything cool, Greater Des Moines is more than its features. It's a feeling. A feeling of discovery and wonder everywhere you turn. Catch what you've been missing. Des Moines, the S's are silent, our city is booming.
Heading to the bottom of the fourth, it is Muscatine 3. 3 runs on 5 hits. Pleasant Valley, as you see there on your screen, no runs on 1 hit. You can give a lot of credit to the defense of Muscatine on that front, as they'll have the bottom third of the order here due up for the Muskies to take on Maya Townsend, Lucy Hoig, Avery Schroeder, Bree Seaman due up here for the Muskies as the number 2 seed. Winner of this game will take on the winner of the other game that's going on next door, which is Waukee Northwest and Linn-Mar. Yeah, Waukee Northwest. How about that for a first-year school? That could fool a lot of people if they didn't know how many athletes made the trek over there on the split between the two districts. We did see Waukee, though, make it here, and Waukee Athletic Department deep enough to where both schools had made multiple state tournaments, but that Waukee Northwest bunch is going to be a tough out as well.
Yeah, pretty impressive that both teams qualified.
Because, I mean,
how fun.
Yeah, you just had you split your talent pool in half and somehow found enough pieces on both ends to make runs to the state tournament still.
And I remember when Ankeny split to Ankeny Centennial, I coach volleyball, so I see a lot more of that, and, always predictions of who was going to be tougher when that happened, and both were really tough and continue to be tough.
And they've both just gotten better as time has gone on, too. Yep, those suburban school districts, they have fine and talent pools, that is for sure. These two Eastern Iowa schools say, don't forget about us. We are here a lot at the state softball tournament as well, as it is now 3-0 here to the 7-hitter Lucy Hoig, who fouled out to the third baseman Ava Crowley back in the second inning. There's time going to be called here. Not sure what the situation is.
Sub for the assistant coach.
Yeah, looks like assistant coach down there on the first
hot,
base line needs a little bit of nourishment, and he's going to take a seat.
Aw.
And they're going
Players
to get
patting him on the back.
That is Bob Gaunt.
I was just thinking, you were talking about the black jerseys of Muscatine, and we're sitting here in a shaded area where it feels pretty good, but
it's not too bad here, especially
that
wind that you hear banging on our microphones. As that's in the dirt, 4-pitch walk. Hoig is on. That is the second walk issued here by Townsend in the game, and it looks like Jose Lara might be making a change. And it will be an IMT insurance substitution. You can be worry-free with IMT. Learn how. IMTINS.com. And Caitlin Merkel is now going to swap into the game. We'll see if Townsend hangs in or who's going to take over for first. But while she warms up, we'll go ahead and step aside. We'll give you the full changes when we return right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
We are are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively
relentlessly.
At your service.
Here in the heartland, at the heart of everything cool, Greater Des Moines is more than its features. It's a feeling. A feeling of discovery and wonder everywhere you turn. Catch what you've been missing. Des Moines, the S's are silent, our city is booming.
Your new pitcher for Pleasant Valley is Caitlin Merkel. She moves from first to the pitcher's mound, or pitching circle, if you will. Maya Townsend exits the game. Caitlin Kiefer, a junior, comes on to play first base for Pleasant Valley. So Kiefer at first. The new pitcher is Merkel. Merkel on the season, just a freshman. She was the number 2 pitcher all season long. 16 games, 77 and a third innings of work, a 2.90 earned run average. Struck out 26 batters in 77 and a third innings, 23 walks, so about 1-to-1 walks to strikeout ratio. Something certainly she's going to have to locate strikes, but as that IMT insurance substitution takes place, again, you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com. Avery Schroeder comes up with a runner at first and nobody out here in the fourth. Muscatine looking to add on to what is a 3-0 lead, and the slap hitter sees the first pitch, tries to lay down a bunt, and fouls it off 0-1. Schroeder was trying to lay down a bunt initially, and then eventually would pop out to the first baseman.
Now, Merkel, from what I've seen in warm-ups, seems to throw more of a drop ball spin, which is a little bit easier to bunt. I don't know.
Right, get it on the ground, right. Just a matter of getting it in fair territory would be the question here. Showing bunt again, and she stabbed at it but missed. Throw behind the runner, and they got her. There's the wheel play in motion. It's not that Hoek fell asleep over there. I think she just got too big of a secondary lead, thinking that the bunt was going to be put down. Big credit to Casey Kane yet again with another outstanding throw. Kane.
It's kind of just a good reminder that, like, you've got a catcher like that and you're at state, you know, because it was, like you said, it wasn't a big lead. But
No, and big credit to Reagan Hassel, the junior, the upperclassman, in the right spot. Her position.
And she had just
That
come
just
into the
missed.
game.
Yeah, so actually, Hassel, the second baseman, was covering, as you'll see it here. She stabbed at it here, so the first baseman's charging into the line, but Hassel, the second baseman, had snuck behind her because she was going to cover first base on any ball that was bunted in fair territory to cover first to get an out. Instead, she gets an out on a pickoff. Little grounder, and there's the speed. I mean, that's exactly what you teach slap hitting to a speedy left-hander like Avery Schroeder. That went 45 feet on the ground, and she still legged it out 60 feet before they could get it over there. I mean, I don't know what else you can do.
No, she charged it, she gunned it, splits. I could not do splits like that.
No, that is just a fantastic job of hitting with 2 strikes, especially for Schroeder, and that'll bring up Bree Seaman, who drew a walk and scored in the third. But that's how big that pickoff play is now, because it would have been runners on first and second at that point. And she's trying to draw a throw because I think she's willing to take off and test the defense.
She's like, I'm fast.
Yeah, and with that speed, like if you throw behind her, she's going to take off for second, and then you're going to have to make another great throw to get her out at second.
Yep.
The first pitch, ruled a ball here to Seaman. Merkel just trying to avoid any further damage. The bats are going to have to get going against a very tough Mora Kalupa. This is a ground ball right up the middle. Hits the second base bag, and that's going to allow the runner Schroeder to take third base. She is going to be held there. It's a single for Bree Seaman in the 9th slot, and now the dangerous top of the order comes up for the Muskies as they look to try to open the game up even more. And again, if they can get out of this with no further damage done, which again is going to be a tall task at the top of the order here, and another slapper at the plate, but a run would have been in right there without that pickoff play by Casey Kane. So we'll see if they can limit the damage beyond that.
Right.
Mia Molina, the 8th grade slapper, steps into the box. She's not choked up at all in that bat, and we saw her swing away last time. And she swings away here. This is a ground ball over to second. They're going to get the sure out at first base. But that is going to be good enough for an RBI as Schroeder comes galloping home from third. And it is now 4-0 Muscatine. Moving to second safely is Breeze Seaman.
And that's great job by Molina to hit to the right side of the field and score that run.
Yeah, it's 4-3 in the book, but it still goes down as an RBI, second out of the inning. And she's been aggressive. First pitch swinging on the first at-bat and the third at-bat, and on the second pitch on the second at-bat. Yeah. So, I mean, you got an eighth grader here who's not afraid to try to put the ball in play. With 2 outs now, that'll bring up the 2-hitter, Carly Ricketts.
A lot of times that's your best pitch from the pitcher because they get ahead and then just throw you junk.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of times, especially at this level when they can locate strikes, sometimes you're going to get a meatball in that first one because they're just trying to get ahead. The 1-0, that one off the end of the bat, foul, 1-1. Carly Ricketts at the plate. The senior, 1 for 2, singled in the first inning into left center field. Was asked to bunt in the third and did so, but bunted it foul, and it was an amazing catch by Kane behind the plate, who was able to snag it on a dive going toward the third base dugout. 1-1, 2 outs and a runner still at second base. 4-0 is the score in favor of Muscatine. The pitch. That one's in the dirt. Good stop by Kane. She looks the runner back to second. She's good. I mean, this has got to be one of the top defensive catchers in Class 5A, and she is just a freshman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, base runners beware over the next 3+ years. I'm not sure you're going to be wanting to mess with number 7 for Pleasant Valley for the next little while. Is this one going to be a soft grounder over to short, picked up and fired in time? Nice play by Jessica Clemens over to Kiefer for the out, and that'll retire the side. But one more scores on the RBI ground up by Mia Molina, scoring Avery Schroeder. We'll head into the 5th. Muscatine a 4-0 lead over Pleasant Valley on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career-building programs, and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. First pitch on the way from Mara Kalupa, and that's just off the outside corner to Addison Oda, the freshman right fielder, 1-0. Final line on Maya Townsend, upcoming here when we get to the second batter of the inning. The young sophomore gave it a go as this is going to be fouled off the screen, 1-1. Oda 0 for 1, flew out to left field, Avery Schroeder. First time up back in the second.
I was pretty excited to sit right behind the catcher, but I have to admit,
It's not a great...
I fight seeing more of the umpire, but it looked like the first pitch was a curve and then the next one was a rise, but that's where I get into the game and just love watching what all the pitchers have. But
it would be ideal if we were elevated just a touch.
Yeah.
But instead we're buried under the bleachers here, and I don't know, you kind of try to get used to it as it's 1-2 now. Ground ball foul.
But I can tell that Kalupa is just, got several different pitches and pitch locations. And
well, I mean, she's given up the one hit, and the hit was off the end of the bat and landed between her and the second baseman, and they didn't have a chance to make a play on an infield hit. The ball has not been hit hard once off of her in the game, at least in the air. And her defense has done the job otherwise. This one going to leak low, get all the way to the backstop. It's 2-2 now to Oda.
I wish I could remember what college team I was watching where they had a pitcher that would pace behind there and stare, and I feel like she kind of has that presence where she's just in control, and that's what you have to do.
it's intimidating too when you know you're not barreling up anything she's giving you.
Yeah.
It's a complete guessing game already, but now you're really just trying to sit on something and hope that you get it. This ball popped up right side, and I don't think the first baseman Hoag actually ever saw that ball. She was kind of looking up, and she was like covering her head, and she was ducking. But
a big bright sun up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I do not envy anybody playing, not just in this heat, but also with that sun facing the right side of the field here, especially as it gets more in that direction as the day goes on.
Yeah.
It makes it very difficult. Lucky for her, though, no play because it bounced off the top of the dugout. Still 2-2. The pitch, that one's in the dirt.
Well, and I've never played with a mask on, so
that makes it
I
even
can't
probably more
imagine.
difficult.
Yeah, they're so used to it. And obviously it's a safety thing. I think a lot of infielders play better when they have it on there, so they don't
they're not
look
thinking
away
about they're not thinking about getting hit in the face. Yeah.
Well,
and I will say this, these masks are a lot better because you get the peripheral vision that the catcher just doesn't have because of the protection. Is the payoff pitch on the way, swing and a miss. That went up by the jaw, but had her guessing wrong. That was a great pitch by Kalupa. It was a good at-bat overall by the freshman Oda. She just could not on the full count pitch lay off the high one.
Yeah.
That is a 6th strikeout, by the way, for Kalupa in the circle. Final line on Maya Townsend, the sophomore starting pitcher, the lefty for Pleasant Valley. 3+ innings of work, 5 hits, 3 runs, all were earned with 2 walks, no strikeouts. She threw 44 pitches, 26 were strikes, and 18 were balls.
Well, you'd think that you could lay off of a high pitch like that, but the reaction time compared to baseball, it's like basically like a high 90s baseball, like reaction time wise.
Right. And I saw Jenny Finch pitching a softball to Albert Pujols from the proper softball distance, and Pujols couldn't touch it.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't touch it.
Yeah, and they're not used to seeing the ball go up like in softball.
Right.
Baseball, it doesn't.
Yeah, and you're right. Like that pitch that she just swung at started probably belt high on the release point, but then just kind of rose up from the way it was released with the kind of velocity and spin. As there's another swing and a miss.
I love that. That's the changeup, my favorite.
Way out in front of it, Caitlin Merkel at the plate has the only hit of the game so far for the Spartans. That little off the end of the bat nubber that got over Kalupa and landed perfectly in between the other middle infielders. There was no chance to make a play on her. She was stranded right there at first base, however, in that second inning. She takes a ball here, 1-2. Kalupa has walked 2, which is not typical. She usually about a little more than 1, like 1.1 batters per game will she walk throughout the season. But she has walked 2, but neither of them have reached beyond second base. The 1-2. Swing and a foul tip into the mitt, strike 3, and that's the second out, 7th strikeout now for Kalupa, and it seems like she's getting stronger as the game progresses. Here at Kruger Seeds Field, our game is in the top of the 5th inning, 4-0 the score with Muscatine leading Pleasant Valley. Trying to maybe get an update on what's going on the other field, but that game, we'll give you an update as soon as we see a score pop in for it. They're going to appeal on the swing. She did not go. It's going to be 1-0 here to the designated player, Mara McClyman, senior. Got to a full count pitch where she struck out swinging back in the second. The righty fires. That one's low. 2-0.
As a pitcher, you don't want to, like, I noticed that Kalupa kind of throws it all, up high. She'll throw it down low. She'll throw it in the dirt. But when she needs to, she throws a strike. And you don't want to, you kind of want to be intermittently wild, but be able to rein it in.
Well, yeah, you want to hit different spots and make them think about what you're doing, which I find, pitchers are a different breed in being able to do that because, I still play rec league baseball and I can't get that ball to do what I want to do regularly, throwing it from the outfield. Is they're going to do another appeal. She did not swing, says first base umpire Mark Amadeo. And it's now 3-1 to the 8-hitter, Mara McClyman. McClyman bats with 2 outs and nobody on here for Pleasant Valley in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, the number of pitches she's probably thrown over her lifetime are a lot.
A lot more than probably me, I would guess.
Yeah.
There's a strike called on the knees, and we're back full, 3-2. There have been a lot of pitches thrown by Kalupa and a lot of full counts, but she's been able to get most of them.
Yeah.
She's coming up with the pitches when she needs to.
I think in girls, a lot of it is that mentality. Like I said, she exudes confidence. And
Swing and a miss. How about she strikes out the side? How about 8 strikeouts now in the game for Kalupa? We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Muscatine will continue to try to pile it on here, leading 4-0 over Pleasant Valley here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything
Dental insurance costs a fortune, and it covers nothing.
don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
It's Fairway Family Food.
Name one reason more people choose to shop at Fairway.
Lower prices.
Name something that Fairway is famous for.
The best meat in town.
Survey says!
Don't play games with your food. Shop Fairway for the best meat in town.
With lower prices and higher quality, everyone's a winner at Fairway.
Until next time, this is Fairway Family Food.
Back out for a second inning of work is Caitlin Merkel. She'll face Muscatine's meat of the order, Isabel Lerma, Kylia Salyers, who's got the big hit of the game, and Briley Seaman, who's got the longest hit of the game. Those are the 3 due-up batters for the Muskies from Muscatine. Did get a score update from the other field, or friends over next door at Iowa Central Field. Still scoreless, it appears, in the second inning between Waukee Northwest and Linn-Mar. So we'll try to keep you updated on that. Big thanks to the Waukee Northwest softball Twitter account for the play-by-play that they are posting on their Twitter feed. So we'll let you know if something happens over there. The winner of this game will play the winner of that game, which is why that's important. As the first pitch is a ball here from Merkel to the 3-hitter, Isabel Lerma. Lerma 1 for 2, popped up to short back in the first, and then laced a double down the left field line and eventually scored in the third. The 1-0. Yeah, that's a swinging little bouncer. Took a weird hop. Good play over there at third by Crowley. Man, she has been good over at the high corner. That one took a little bit of a side slice, but she was able to get that web down, knock it down, pick it up, and make an accurate throw for the first out. And, you know, it always kind of sticks in your craw a little bit when your counterpart on the other side robs you of a base hit. Yeah, you know. You feel like you owe them one too.
Yeah.
One away, that'll bring up Salyers. Salyers, 1 for 2 as well. She grounded a short in the first and then hit a 2-run single in the left center field, which made the game 3-1 at that time. As this ball is flared out in the right center field, and that'll get down for a base hit. Fielded on a hop quickly by the right fielder, Oda. And another hit for Salyers. We'll see if Ashley Ramser, the courtesy runner, will come in. And she will. So Salyers will come off for the courtesy runner. Of course, if you're not familiar with the courtesy runner rule, pitcher and catcher in the batting order can be replaced by a courtesy runner on the base pass at any time and have unlimited replacement as long as it's the same player. As long as that same player keeps coming in for them, the designated courtesy runner, then they are fine. They can re-enter defensively every single time and still get all of their at-bats. That courtesy runner brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. And that's a speedy runner in Ramser over at first base. As first pitch a ball here to Briley Seaman.
I believe that rule was designed to get the game going faster, so you didn't have your catcher still having to put their gear on after they got done running. And,
certainly.
And it helps to keep them from getting injured too. But sometimes that's your best base runner too. So
right. Yeah.
Very rarely do you see a pitcher or a catcher run for themselves.
That's a low line drive, almost caught. Throw's going to go to second, but not in time. Good effort by Ashley Hansen, the 8th grader out there in center field, but it was a sinking liner. Didn't have a chance to get the glove under it, but did good enough to make sure that ball didn't get by her. And Briley Seaman, her third hit, she has a solo homer, a single, and now another single. And good job by Ramser as well, kind of reading that well enough to not get thrown out at second on the force out.
I think they're calling that a hit, correct?
Ah, that's a hit, yeah. I mean, if you put an E on that one, that would hurt.
Phenomenal.
It's a good effort. Is this one a little nubber over to second? They're going to go to second for an out. Yes. does a good job. I think the ball actually bounced off the bag and then was fielded by Clemens. That will move the runner along. It'll be a fielder's choice as Seaman is erased 4-6 in the book. Over to third is Ramser. It was Caitlin Haig, the freshman, on the first pitch, swinging away. And the fielder's choice now puts him at the corners with 2 outs now for Lucy Hoig, who is 0 for 1. Popped up in foul ground to the third baseman, Ava Crowley, and then drew a walk on 4 pitches in the fourth. This is the first time, though, she is seeing Merkel. Merkel came on after she walked last time up. That's a tough play. You know, we talked about the side spin on that little soft, but they were playing in a little bit already for the way that Haig had kind of lined up. They thought she might bunt anyway. That was a good play by the middle infielders to get it out as that ball's low. A lot of times you'll see that runner at first base in this scenario, even with 2 outs, take off for second just to see if the catcher will dare throw towards second. And if they do, a lot of times you'll see that runner at first kind of try to get in the pickle, and that runner from third might dash for home. Haven't seen any signs of that happening, but we'll have to see. That's up and away. Still no runner movement, and it's still 2-0. And you got Avery Schroeder on deck, who had an infield hit last time up, so if you can even draw a walk if you're Hoig right here and maybe load him up for your 8-hitter, that might be a best-case scenario all the way around. Maybe even have a big inning here. Couple of singles, a fielder's choice, runners on the corners and 2 outs, and that's low and away, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, I haven't seen this situation of first and third yet in the 2 games I've seen so far. But I think they're probably just like, we don't want to chance another out. We want to stay in this. We want to see if we can score some more runs.
And I think they're seeing Merkel pretty well.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that you're seeing is timeout is called so Casey Kane can go out and talk to Merkel. Kane and Merkel, both freshmen, a freshman battery here. You're pitching and catching in the state tournament. Kane has been phenomenal behind the plate.
Yeah, she's probably going to throw you out.
Yeah, and that's another thing that you have to keep in mind here because, first of all, she's shown the ability to be very smart with what she does out there, but she also has a cannon. So if you're trying to steal on her, she will try to throw you out. 3-0, though. I don't think this is a swinging situation here for Hoig. The delivery, and it is a strike at the knees, 3-1. That's a good conversation as well by Kane. Whether she or not she's being directed by head coach Jose Lara is, he's got these girls trained really, really well to kind of know the feel of the game. That's why they're so successful. And you can see Kane looking into the dugout, probably looking for a pitch sequence here.
So far I've seen all the coaches calling the pitches.
That misses for ball 4. That is the first walk issued in relief by Merkel. Yeah, I think it's a pretty common practice at this point, and it kind of depends. But you know that Merkel and Kane know each other really well. They also know Coach Lara really well.
Right.
And he knows them, and I think at that point, you're down the count 3-1. You do not want to give up a juicy pitch there, so they're going to go to the lefty here, Schroeder, the slap hitter, and see if they can't get it out on any base. There's forces all over the place. That's fouled straight down for a strike 0-1. Schroeder popped up the first in the second, and then hit an infield hit that was just pushed from our vantage point to the left of the circle. Merkel only had to move 2 steps by the time she got the ball and threw it to first. Schroeder and her lightning speed was already there and was safe for an infield hit.
Even though you have 2 outs, your play might not be at first with her being so fast.
Yeah, you might look home. I mean, it depends. Home is a natural place to throw for anybody that's close on the infield, but there's also a chance that you could get an out up the middle as well. It just kind of depends on where the ball's hit. 1-1-2 are here as Muscatine looks to increase the lead. This ball hit right at the first baseman. That is Caitlin Kiefer. Makes no bones about it and steps on the bag. And after all of that, nothing across here for Muscatine in the 5th. We will head to the 6th now. Pleasant Valley in desperate need of some hits to string together so they can try to score some runs as they trail by 4 here on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy.
I want a drink. And I want this free. And I want this awesome ATV. I can't get enough of winning free stuff. Casey's just gave me these. Cause we won the Casey's sweepstakes. The summer of freedom sweepstakes.
Shop with Casey's Rewards for a chance to win free pizza, gas, and getaways all summer long.
We won the Casey's sweepstakes. The summer of freedom sweepstakes.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face. SWIC feels like a community, like family, like home.
SWIC is a place for you.
Going to the 6th, Emery Songer along with Molly Geis, and Pleasant Valley in desperate need here of a little offensive rally. It'll be the number 9 hitter, Ava Crowley, to start us off. We're going to get Avery Minke, a junior, is going to pinch hit. She's in the on-deck circle. I'll tell you more about her when she gets up here. But Crowley would love to start it off here from the 9 spot in the order. Taking on Maura Kalupa for the second time. Crowley did reach, drawing a walk on 5 pitches first time up as she swings through the first offering, 0-1. Crowley was then promptly caught stealing as Ashley Hansen, the leadoff batter who was at the plate, was trying to bunt her over and then slap her over, ended up striking out. And as she struck out, she was cut down at second on a beautiful throw by Kalia Salyers. There's another swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. So both catchers have been absolutely outstanding in this game. Both for Salyers, she has the 2 RBI hit as well on top of the defense, and then we've seen what Kane can do both with her arm and her glove.
Yeah, defense is no errors so far in this game. So
swing and a miss. Crowley goes down. That is 4 consecutive strikeouts now for Kalupa. 9 in the ball game, and it feels like she is just getting stronger as the game goes on. Is just too much to say, but I really feel like she's getting tougher to hit as each of these batters see her. And they're going to get a fresh batter now as Avery Minke, a pitch hitter, take on Kalupa after Ashley Hansen lifted after striking out twice. First pitch is up and away for ball 1. Ashley Hansen pinch hit, of course, it's brought to you by our friends at IMT Insurance. You can learn how to be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
well, for Kalupa, every single strikeout has been swinging.
Yeah, now that's a weird stat too, right? Because all of these strikeouts, they look pretty good. They look juicy. They just cannot get a bat on it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say they look juicy. She doesn't throw
they
much.
Look like strikes.
Yeah.
They look like strikes. We'll go there.
Yeah. But that's pitching phenomenally if they can't get a bat on it with 2 strikes.
The junior Minke looks at this one. 2-1 the count. Minke on the season. The junior has played quite a bit. 247 the average on 73 at-bats coming in. She does have 18 runs driven in. Has struck out only 3 times and had walked 11. So she is a contact player, does not have a super high batting average, but knows what to do with the bat. And again, she is ahead in the count 3-1. So here's an opportunity here for a batter that hasn't seen Kalupa, and that means Kalupa hasn't seen her. Not sure maybe her kind of spots. We know that she's been working up, belt high and above to a lot of batters at the top of this order, and they've been swinging underneath a lot of those pitches. We'll see if she kind of tries to go back to that now, down on the count 3-1. She sets and fires. And that ball off the fist, fouled. And we're full 3-2. And Kalupa, while we can talk about how really impressive it has been with all the strikeouts, she has thrown a lot of pitches.
Yes.
She's knocking on 100 pitches right now, and we're in the 6th inning.
I feel like she's setting the batters up, and it takes a lot of work.
Here's the payoff, and that's popped up right side. Long run for Haig, and she's got it, and that was right on the line. I'm going to go ahead and say it was a fair ball. So good job by Haig getting over there, camping underneath it, and getting the out. Minke, a solid at-bat off the bench. First time seeing Kalupa, but unable to get a hit. And there has only been soft contact. A lot of soft contact. The defense hasn't had too many problems to worry about. And the only 3 base runners, 2 walks, and an infield hit that was softly hit up the middle. So with 2 outs and nobody on, one of the walks was to this batter, Reagan Hassel. Hassel fouls the first pitch off, strike 1.
And Pleasant Valley's got to make something happen here. They've only got this, 1 more out here and 3 more in the next inning.
Yeah, and 4 runs to get. So you have 4. You're down by 4 runs, and you have only 4 outs left. Gonna need some base runners in a hurry. As that ball slapped, that's gonna leak out of play right side, and it's 0-2 here to Hassel. Hassel, long at bat. It was 9 pitches before she drew the walk, and she did successfully steal a base on Salyers back in the first, but was left there at second. In the third, she popped up to the shortstop, Briley Seaman.
So she's seen a lot of pitches, honestly. So we'll see if that pays off for her.
By the way, the update on the other field, Iowa Central field, Northwest, Waukee Northwest, a 2-0 lead right now at the end of 3 over Linn-Mar. Winner of that game will play the winner of this game in the semifinals later this week here at the Harlan Hazel Rogers Sports Park. That's a base hit, much needed as Hassel able to slap it through the middle, just past Haig at second on the ground, and that was the hardest hit ball we have seen on the air or on the ground by anybody for Pleasant Valley. And as we talked about, not just much needed, but in this spot too, because now you got your big run producers coming up next with Casey Kane, the freshman catcher, who's been a huge bat for them. In fact, their biggest bat in terms of run production and home runs. And here she's got an opportunity with a big swing to potentially cut the lead in half.
But that's what they're hoping for. And Hassel did a great job. I don't think that's necessarily her swing if she doesn't have 2 strikes on her. She just did a great job of putting the bat on the ball, not popping it up, and getting on.
Yeah, and just kind of went with the pitch, going the other way. Sometimes you get caught in those power swings and pulling everything, and that time she just kind of went with where it came from, got really good metal on it, and was able to get it with enough power on the ground to get past Haig at second. Kane was just underneath that first pitch and fouled it straight back. It is 0-1 to her. Still 2 outs in the runner on at first, and Hassel can run. She already has a steal in the game. The 0-1. Swing and a miss on that high pitch again, just over the letters, and it's 0-2. So Kane is 0 for 2, but she also seen a lot of pitches here. A couple of longer at-bats, popped up in foul ground on a nice catch by Hoag up against the first base side dugout in the first, and then she grounded over to Hoag in the fourth. 0-2 here. 2 outs, runner on, and that's flared foul over everything. And up into the bleachers on the right side. We'll do the 0-2 again.
And like we've mentioned, it's good to get contact on that 0-2 pitch because 9-10 people haven't and struck out. So
yeah, 9, and as you've mentioned, Molly, all of the swinging variety. Kane trying to avoid being the 10th. The 0-2. And again, just gets enough of the bat on it. This is a great player. Okay, when we talk about, she's just a freshman. The batting numbers are insane, the power and the average. But then you throw in her fielding capabilities behind the plate and the arm that she has exhibited by throwing to the bases both at first and at second. She's got a lot going for her right now. But she knows to keep her team season alive, she needs to come up with a big hit here. Still 0-2. Kalupa on the way. And again a foul ball.
She's seeing it.
She's just not able to square it up, but she is doing enough to keep herself alive, and she will continue to see more pitches. And the more you see pitches, the more information you're gathering, and especially when you're a good hitter, the more you can kind of anticipate where those balls might be going. Still 0-2, but still the 6th pitch of the at-bat.
And of course, a kid up to bat really wants that big hit, but honestly, just going for a base hit and just keep it going.
And she hits this on the ground, but foul. Good play. Jose Lara. Oh, you love to see it. Good activity. 2 hands on the ball. Stayed down on it. Able to make a nice play. Because, if he botches that, he's going to hear about it. No matter what happens in this game, they will not let him, in front of all the cameras, to not be able to make that play. Good for him. Here we go again, 0-2 to Casey Kane.
Kids always hold their coach more accountable because they've heard it from him, but they don't understand we used to be able to do that.
And we're not playing with a glove.
Right,
I mean, come on, right?
Right.
How about Casey Kane here? She's going to see her 8th pitch. All of them have been strikes, and she just refuses to go down without a fight. Fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch. 2 outs and a runner on first. The 0-2. That ball flared foul. This is some battle.
How many pitches?
The 9th is coming.
And no balls, so all strikes.
Correct. All strikes. Pretty impressive. 0-2 still the count. Kane. The pitch. That's high. Sometimes you swing at 8 consecutive pitches or have seen 8 pitches and you've been in protect mode. Sometimes no matter what's coming out of her hand, you're ready to swing. So even though that wasn't close, important just to see the fact that she doesn't have a quick trigger on the swing there.
So darn fast.
How about the 1-2? On the way. And that's fouled. Well, this is definitely the at-bat of the tournament so far in terms of battling. And, of course, a ton on the line for Pleasant Valley here because if Kane can find a way to get a hit here, you got more power coming up behind, and every base runner gets you a little bit closer to that potential tying run as you're down by 4 here in the 6th. As for Kalupa, you'd love to get back in the dugout and have only 3 outs left to get, still preserving a 4-0 lead. Another 1-2. She cannot get her.
Wow.
This is unbelievable. So that is...
Whoever wins this battle, it's
been earned.
Could be a turning point, too.
It has completely been earned. If she finds a way to get on base here, that is a deflator for a pitcher.
Yeah.
The 12th pitch of the at-bat on the way. Kalupa looking in. What are they going to try to get her this time? They could still waste one if they want. And they won't. They'll just power it past her with a little bit of a drop on it. Kalupa wins the battle. What a try by the freshman Casey Kane, but she becomes the 10th strikeout victim, and we will head to the bottom of the 6th inning with Muscatine looking for some more insurance runs, leading 4-0 over Pleasant Valley here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Here we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 9-1-2 for Muscatine, looking to add on. Man, I just got to give flowers here to Casey Kane. A 12-pitch at bat there. Season potentially hanging in the balance. You're one of your team's best hitters statistically. Even though you're a freshman and you're facing a very tough pitcher for Muscatine, you got a runner on. You're just trying to keep your team a rally going here. And you see 12 pitches. I know she didn't win that battle, but that is a really impressive at-bat.
It was impressive, and we've talked about how many all strikeouts have been swinging, so now would we say just 10 or 11?
That was 10 right there, so all swinging.
And what would that have been? 10 of the pitches were
foul balls,
off?
Pretty much close to 10 pitches. I think 8 total pitches were fouled off after 2 strikes. So,
okay.
I mean, if you think about that in itself is insane that she was able to foul off 8 different pitches after she was in a 2-strike count. As the first pitch of strike here to Bree Seaman. Seaman has not been retired at the plate so far. The senior is 1 for 1, walked and scored a run in the 3rd, and then singled right back up the middle, and it bounced off the second base bag in what eventually was a run-scoring situation in the 4th. That drop ball never got there, or that was more of a change. 1-1 is the count. Still 2-0 as it looks middle of the 4th inning over there on the Iowa Central Field. We're at Kruger Seeds Field here, Iowa Central Field. They're a little behind us. They started a half hour later. That's just kind of how they've been messing with the games. Is this one going to be hammered foul, third base side, and it's 1-2. They stagger the start times for a variety of reasons, so the grounds crew isn't taxed all at the same time on one field. So that game is now in the middle of the 4th inning, and it is Waukee Northwest 2 and Linn-Mar nothing. Winner of that game will play the winner of this game later this week in the Class 5A semifinals. The other semifinal is set between Valley and Fort Dodge. As that misses, it's 2-2.
Says it's 88 degrees and feels like 95, but they don't act like they're hot or anything. So.
No, yeah, and that's what I love about this tournament, and I love about softball is you really aren't out here all that long. That's swung on and foul tipped. I mean, the longest of games, even here at the state tournament, I did a 16-inning game here once. It was the Class 3A championship between Iowa City Regina and Eddyville Blakesburg Fremont in 2017. It was an unbelievable game, and we went 16 innings, and it still got over in 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
which is it's insane to
What
think.
was the score? Do you remember that?
Here is a ground ball. It's going to be fielded, throw over to first in time. Nicely done there defensively by Caitlin Merkel over to Caitlin Kiefer. The Caitlin connection for the first out, and that'll bring up Mia Molina, the top of the order. It was 5-4. It was 2-2 for most of the game. It was deadlocked essentially for from like the 4th or 5th inning all the way through to the 16th. Eddyville, Blakesburg, Fremont got 2 in the top of the 16th. Wow. And then Regina scored 3 in the bottom of the 16th to break their hearts. But it was a crazy game. Definitely one I'm never going to forget. Is this a ground ball by Molina? Up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. She's put the ball in play, and that is the 3rd time in 4 tries that she has gotten herself lined up on the first pitch and swung at it and put it in play. So she's now 1 for 4, has an RBI, had an RBI ground out last time, but she's seen 5 pitches in 4 at-bats.
I bet she doesn't strike out much.
Yeah, well, to answer that question for you, she struck out 10 times, walked 19 times, and had a 400 batting average on the season. So, yeah, she hops on as there's a strike on the outside corner here to the 2-hitter, Carly Ricketts.
And Merkel is a very good fielding pitcher. Like, she's made 2 great fielding plays. One was the difference was the speed of the runner. But,
right, and that was a lefty slapper, too.
Yeah, but it's tough to pitch the ball and be able to react
this is
right away.
Slow-rolling grounder. They are going to go to second for the out. So it'll be a fielder's choice, 4-6. Nicely done up the middle, Hassel to Clemens. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Isabel Lerma. She's 1 for 3. The one was a nice one, though. It was a double down the left field line, and she eventually would score a run on the RBI double, or RBI single, I suppose, by Kylia Salyers. That pitch is down, 1-0. You'd love a little insurance here, and I know Kalupa's been going well, but you just never know. You'd love to get 1 or 2 more here if you could.
Absolutely. Softball, it's crazy. You can go where you don't score, and then all of a sudden you just unload 1 inning. So. Well,
and that 16-inning game I just mentioned, both teams have gone 9 full innings without even having 1 or 2 base runners, and then all of a sudden both teams score multiple runs in the same inning in the 16th. It is a weird game, to say the least.
Well, I think the other game this morning was that way too, wasn't it? Scoreless or tied, and then all of a sudden in 1 inning, one side scores and the other one scores.
Yeah, and that was the Valley game against
Southeast
Polk. Yeah, so Valley scores 4 in the bottom of the 6th after a pretty tightly scored affair. And then Southeast Polk answers with 4 in the top of the 7th, and Valley has to sweat it out and get out of that jam in order to move on. Is 4 straight pitches here to Lerma, and she draws a walk, which will keep the inning alive. That is the 2nd walk issued in relief by Caitlin Merkel. Ricketts moves on to second. The thing about these softball teams is you really only have 2 pitchers that do most of the pitching.
Right.
You very rarely will have a team that would feel comfortable going to a 3rd pitcher in a game that's still contested at this level. Maybe if it's 10-0 or 12-0 and the run rule is in sight, maybe you'd throw an inexperienced player just to get a little bit of experience out there in the circle at a venue like this. But you're really not going to see more than the 2 pitchers. So Merkel's going to likely have to work out of this jam herself.
Right. Sometimes, they might bring in the first pitcher back.
Again, yeah. As this pitch is down, that is 5 consecutive misses. There's a throw behind the runner, and they got her.
Wow.
There she is again, Casey Kane. She will not be afraid to throw behind you, and Ricketts is picked off. Go 2-6 in the book on the pickoff, and that is a very, very needy, desperate out that was able to be picked up by Pleasant Valley. But last call for him here as we head to the 7th. They need 4 to tie the game. Muscatine will look to close it out when we return on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Muscatine a 4-0 lead as they finish up. As we come back, you're going to look at Casey Kane. This is an arm you're going to be seeing all across 5A softball for the next 3+ years, as Kane stood up and quickly fired behind the runner. That's a long throw to second base. And Carly Ricketts learned the hard way. You do not want to get too much of a secondary lead against this particular catcher. We saw her fight 12-pitch at-bat. She's got great power numbers. This is going to be a player you're going to want to watch the next few years.
Yeah, that was absolutely a perfect throw. Otherwise, no chance of getting her out.
And you know what? You never know. That kind of play could still loom large. I know Kalupa's been rolling, and she's only allowed a couple of hits, but we talked about it. Things can change in a hurry as the first pitch is up. Here to start the 7th inning to Pleasant Valley's cleanup hitter, Jessica Clemens. The sophomore's 0 for 2. She was a strikeout victim in the first, and she grounded out to third in the fourth on what was a really nice and slick play by Isabel Lerma. Defense hasn't had to do much the last few innings here for Muscatine, as it's been a strikeout show for Kalupa, second time through the order, as it's a foul ball and it's 1-1. Yeah, she has now struck out 10 batters in the game, and all of them have gone down swinging. So she is not just throwing good pitches, but she's enticing them to swing and eventually miss. She's thrown a lot of pitches, 110, number 111's coming. It's not the kind of same arm taxing on the arm as it would be for a baseball pitcher,
right.
But you still get tired out there doing this. Let's see if she's wearing down at all. She still seems to be bringing it pretty good, as it's now 1-2.
Yeah, you touch on that, like, pitching softball, it's supposed to be more of a natural motion, and you still end up a little bit sore, but now you're at the end of the season. She's probably not even sore, but we'll probably ice after this game, and then if they win, they have a day off.
Right,
so
the off day is going to make her feel very fresh, assuming they can get the final 3 outs necessary to officially move on into the second game of the winner's bracket, as this is fouled off, and it'll stay 1-2. And this is going to be the frustrating part for Coach Jose Lara and for all of the Spartan hitters. They have hit a lot of foul balls. They've seen the ball pretty well, all things considered. They just cannot square up what she's throwing up there. And that's the difference between a good pitcher and a great pitcher, is that she's enticing swings because the pitches look like strikes, but the movement is not allowing them to get good barrel on it. As there's a foul tip into the mitt for strike 3, number 11.
Well, and to credit to whoever is calling her pitches too, is doing a phenomenal job. But she has to be able to still throw it, but the knowledge of what to throw in what order and all of that is a big deal.
The other game, 4-0 now. Waukee Northwest leading Glenmar on Iowa Central Field as that pitch is high here to Mary Paige Withers, 1-0. Withers, a sophomore, is 0 for 2. She struck out swinging in the second and then flew out to left field. Her counterpart, Avery Schroeder, made the play on her back in the fourth. Winner of that game over there on Iowa Central Field will take on the winner of this game here at Kruger Seeds Field. That will be on Wednesday in the Class 5A semis. The 1-0. That one down, 2-0. And she's lost a little bit of that control. She's still striking people out because she's getting enough pitches close, but she's gone to a lot of full count pitches. She's had to 3-ball counts, 2-ball counts. So she's had to work for it, but she's always come up with the pitches when she's needed them.
She does. But, she's getting later in the game, and so they've seen her more, so she's probably like, I'm going to make sure I don't give them too many good strikes.
Right. And when you get ahead of the batters, which she has done with regularity in this game, you can afford to play around the outside of the strike zone a little bit, as that one flared harmlessly into foul ground. Nobody could get there. It's 2-1 to Withers.
Until it becomes an issue, she's pitching her ball game, and maybe that's what she's done all year long.
Well, whatever she's doing.
Yeah, stay with her.
Yeah, I would not mess with it. That's for sure. Long look in, and the pitch popped up, and that's off the screen.
She's back to 2-2. She didn't have any strikes, and now she's fine.
And there were foul balls again, right?
Yeah.
They feel like they can hit it, and then they're getting soft contact, cannot line it up. Outside of the one hit by Reagan Hassel, they haven't hit a ball really well all game long. That ball popped up on the infield. Second baseman Caitlin Haig is there. 2 away. The last ball that left the infield was the Hassel hit. Before that, you'll have to go all the way back to the fourth last time that Withers was up on a fly ball to the outfield. Last few innings have been pretty boring if you're a fielder behind Maura Kalupa.
I feel like Muscatine is really proving why they are a number 2 seed, and they're just showing dominance here. And
first pitch, a strike at the knees to the freshman right fielder Addison Oda. Oda 0 for 2. Had a long at bat last time up, but as many of her compatriots went down on strike swinging. The 0-1. And that's off the screen, and now Pleasant Valley down to their last strike. Pleasant Valley, what a season it has been. 26-12. Worked their way once again back to the state tournament. 7th time in the last 10 years. Jose Lara has been a part of it for the last several of them. But now down to the last strike here in the 5A quarters in 2022. The pitch bounces in there, 1-2.
what I like about a game like this, 4-0, no errors, like no one's played bad, just someone's played better.
Right.
And that's what you want to see at the state tournament. So both teams should be very proud of their performance.
1-2 is the count. 2 outs, nobody on. The 1-2 to Oda. And that's popped foul. And here's another freshman knowing what's on the line, knowing the game is on her bat right now, and just fighting up there. It's a really positive sign. Pleasant Valley is always a problem in softball, but this young group of underclassmen is really going to be a problem moving forward. Oda digs back in. Here's Kalupa, the 1-2, on the way. Popped up. Is this playable against the screen? No, it is not. It may have been playable, but it spun back over the head of Salyers as she was unable to get in a position to be able to field it. Those are always the toughest. I always talk about it. I rave about it whenever a high school athlete, baseball or softball, can actively make that play. You're ditching a mask. You're locating the ball. You're trying to move away from an umpire, a batter, a bat. You have to locate the spin. You have to know where the wall, the dugout, the backstop are. That's such a tough play.
And you've squatted the whole game.
Exactly.
Up and down, up and down.
Another 1-2, though, from Kalupa to try to finish it off. The pitch. Ooh, just low. Good try, and that's a really good take there by the young freshman Oda. A lot of long at-bats. Can Kalupa come through one more time after a long battle? 7th pitch of the sequence on deck here. The pitch. Popped up. Playable. Shallow center. Who's it going to be? It's the center fielder. Carly Ricketts squeezes it for the final out, and that'll do it. Your final score. Muscatine 4 and Pleasant Valley nothing. An absolute gem from the right-hander, Maura Kalupa. Muscatine, the 4 runs on 10 hits. Pleasant Valley, no runs on 2 hits. Unbelievable as they're going to shake hands. And we got to go ahead and give you Casey's General Store's Player of the Game. Casey's General Store's proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and today's Player of the Game. Casey's is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering for our local teams and fans and making sure there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's Cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. Casey's General Store's Player of the Game. I don't know if you can go anywhere other than Maura Kalupa.
Yeah, we've said it over and over again, all her strikeouts being swinging strikeouts. Like she had confidence at the beginning of the game, and just as the game went, it just built. And that's a big thing with girls, is to have that confidence and show it. Sometimes girls are afraid to show that they're confident, and to have a leader on the mound like that was just what Muscatine needed. Absolutely.
We'll go ahead and step aside. We'll give you more on Maura Kalupa's numbers and the rest of the batting orders, and then sign off for you from this game. But the final score, Muscatine 4, Pleasant Valley nothing. We'll be back with more after this on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
All right, we're back here. Your final score: Muscatine defeats Pleasant Valley 4-0, and in what was a game that honestly, it wasn't a dominant win in terms of what the scoreboard shows, but the way that Maura Kalupa was pitching and the situational defense, especially for Muscatine, it never really felt in doubt.
Right. No one really from Pleasant Valley strung together any hits or even seemed like it was even possible. And credit to Kalupa for that pitching effort.
Yeah, absolutely. The big hit offensively, at least, was Kalea Salyers. Salyers, the junior catcher, had a 2-run single in the 3rd inning that helped extend a lead. The first run was scored by Briley Seaman. The sophomore hit another home run for her on the season for Seaman. That was home run number 5 on the year, and that got the scoring going. But it was really that 2-run single by Salyers that made the game feel comfortable for Muscatine. Tack on another RBI for the leadoff batter, Mia Molina, on an RBI ground out in the 4th, and that was it. 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th. For Kalupa's 7 innings of work, she only allowed the 2 hits, no runs. She did walk a couple. She struck out 11 in the game. It took her quite a few pitches. In fact, she over 120 pitches in the game, but for the most part, she's going to be ready to go, and she's going to be a handful on Wednesday against either Waukee Northwest or Linn-Mar, which, by the way, that game entering the later stages, and Northwest a 4-0 lead over Linn-Mar.
Yeah, that puts them in a great position to have a day off. They've got their experience. They're feeling good. That didn't hurt her to pitch a full game at all. No, and especially when you look at what's on the line here, having a player like that you can go to at this stage of the season, it makes you feel pretty good. But Molly, it's been absolutely fantastic working with you. Thanks so much for being here. Can't wait to do some more games later this week. That is Molly Geisen. For her and our entire team, big thanks to our camera operators, Rachel Hawley, Justin Wolber, our producer, Ruben Garza. My name is Emery Songer. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of our broadcast here tonight. That will do it for us here live from Harlan and Hazel Rogers Sports Complex in Kruger Seeds Field. Final score is Muscatine 4, Pleasant Valley 0, and you heard it right here and watched it on the Girls Union Network, powered by the Mid-American Energy Group.